Hi there, it's Troy. Welcome to another episode. She doesn't want perfect, she wants presence. Presence, and we'll break down what that means in a second, is the most important aspect of dating. Okay, your presence, the presence that you inhabit, the presence that you evoke when you walk into a room is the single most important thing in the whole dating puzzle, okay? And guys often worry too much about being perfect, okay? And that can mean different things to different people, but they worry too much about being perfect and they don't recognize the fact that actually a lot of this stuff is down to the energy that you inhabit, the energy that you bring about when you enter into a room, when you enter into her presence, right? The presence that you bring is 9/10 of the battle, okay? So what do we mean by perfection? Well, it depends, I suppose, what part of the internet you're on, really, and what you believe are the most important things. But I mean, obviously, something that gets talked about a lot is looks. So guys think, well, I have to be perfect looking. I have to have a 12-pack abs. You know, I have to be in absolutely perfect physical condition. I have to be in absolutely perfect financial condition. You know, my circle of friends needs to be immaculate. I need to have the best clothes. I need to have the best quality suits. You know, I need to have the best watch. I need to have the best car, whatever, all of those different things. And guys will think, well, the reason that I'm not doing very well in dating is because I don't have those things. I'm not, in inverted commas, perfect. I was reading something on X today, which is always a mistake, obviously, but I was reading something on X and there was one guy, he was like a looks maxer type guy, and he was saying something like, yeah, you know, all you need to do is be good looking and then you'll turn up on the day and the girl will have a good time. And he was saying that in response to another post which had been saying something a bit more akin to what I'm saying, which is you need to bring the fun, you need to bring the energy, right? And he was like, yeah, but she's gonna have fun, there's gonna be energy if you're good looking. All right, that's a very naive viewpoint that is espoused by guys who frankly probably are pretty young and probably haven't got out of the house very much, okay? Because actually what you find when you go out into the world and actually observe other people and communicate with other people is that looks alone are not going to bring presence with them. They don't bring presence, okay? Looks bring looks, and yeah, that's attractive, sure. Do women like good-looking men? Yeah, you know, it's not some great hidden secret that has been concealed by evil forces. You know, it's pretty well known, pretty obvious that women like good-looking men. But at the same time, what is good-looking, right? I mean, there's a lot of guys that could be classified as good-looking, okay? But if you're one of them and you're also a bit boring and a bit of a wet blanket, as we say in the UK, and there's not really a lot of spark there, there's not a lot of energy there, there's not a lot of interest there, right? Then sure, are you going to get some success just off the back of the looks? Probably. But you're not really going to be maxing out where you could be, okay? Because, and the thing for guys who are, let's say, less aesthetically blessed, is that you could be less aesthetically blessed and you could also be incredibly charismatic and you can bring the right kind of presence, okay, the right kind of energy, and that can override everything, okay? And having coached guys all over the planet for many years now, I can personally attest to this because I've seen this with my own eyes countless times, okay? Guys sometimes ask, as a dating coach, do the good-looking guys just clean up and the less good-looking guys struggle? And the honest answer to that is no, not really. Generally speaking, the results that they get tend to be about the same, actually. I was teaching somewhere in Eastern Europe a couple of years ago, and I was working with two guys. One of them was a regular-looking English dude, okay? But he just had this great sense of humor, great energy about him, quite funny, a little bit sarcastic, teasing, cocky, funny kind of guy, you know. And So he was cool, and he went out and he was doing lots of approaching, lots of socializing, and he got lots of phone numbers and really a lot of positive feedback. Okay, and on the same weekend, I also taught this other guy, I think was American, really good looking dude. Okay, really decent, good looking guy. Okay, and you would look at this guy, and you would think, well, first of all, what's he doing? Seeking dating coaching in the first place. Because if he's, he's good looking, right? So he shouldn't have a problem in this area. And secondly, presumably, because of the way that he looks, he's just going to get amazing results and wipe the floor with everybody else. It wasn't the case, okay? It wasn't the case. He did okay. I think he got a couple of numbers. And I'm not saying that he lacked presence. I mean, he was a good guy. And like with many guys like this, he was just probably a little bit too in his head and needed some help sort of bringing out his personality, becoming a bit more dynamic, becoming a little bit more interesting, frankly. So, he was a cool guy and very good looking, but the other guy did better. That was the thing, the other guy who I've been working with just did better, just attracted more attention, just got more phone numbers, got more women messaging him back afterwards. He just did better, okay? And this was the guy who aesthetically, like physically, you would say wasn't as good looking as the other dude, all right? So again, there's this sense that it has to be perfect, right? There's this sense that I have to be perfect, right? I must be perfect in order to successfully complete this dating journey. And so furthermore, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to work on the social skills until I am perfect, okay? I need to get a haircut. I need to get new shoes. I need to buy a new suit. I need to get in shape. I'm gonna wait for a quarter while I get into shape, while I get below whatever percentage body fat, before I start working on the social stuff. And it's like, no, man, you need to start doing it now. You need to start doing it now. Don't wait for that stuff, because for a start, you're never going to be perfect anyway, okay? You're never going to be perfect anyway, because there's always going to be somebody who's better looking than you. There's always going to be somebody who's more ripped than you. There's always going to be somebody who's richer than you, okay? That's always going to happen. There's not really anything you can do about that. Now, is this a call to not self-improve? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You should be working on these things. You should be working on the way that you look. You should be getting a new suit. You should be getting a haircut. You should be going to the gym. You should be working on your money, your social status, all of these different things. Absolutely. 100%, 1,000%. But you shouldn't be doing it in lieu of attending to the social skills side of things and getting out there and talking to people and engaging with people and approaching women that you are interested in and attracted to and having conversations with them, okay? You shouldn't be foregoing that, because you're wasting your time. If you do, you're wasting your time. You're waiting for some mythical future that is never going to arrive, because there's always going to be somebody better than you, and you're really just, it's an avoidance tactic. You're avoiding doing the difficult thing because it doesn't feel nice to do the difficult thing, which is to go and socialize and to put yourself on the line and potentially get rejected. It doesn't feel nice to do that, so you put it off. You kick the can down the road, but you kick the can down the road with excuses that not only seem palatable to you, but seem logical and actually seem noble. I'm not kicking the can down the road. I'm getting in shape. That's a good thing. Haven't all these guys on the internet told me to go to the gym? Well, yeah, they have, but you should go to the gym and then you should go out and talk to 3 women that you find attractive as well, right? You have to do these things at the same time, okay? Because it's not about perfection. It's about presence and social energy, okay? The only way to bolster and to zhuzh up your social energy is by practicing it, okay? It's a learned skill, it's a rehearsed skill that gets better the more that you do it. And there is no other way to improve the way that you come across socially than to practice it consistently, okay? Anyway, with that being said, hope you enjoyed this one. Do give me a like, give me a comment, let me know what you think about this below. And if you guys are interested in coaching, drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.